Hello, my name is Hari G. Darcy, and welcome to Hari's Helping Hands. Today, we are going to have a fun little conversation about the role of empathy in conflict resolution. Of course, we will be understanding empathy as a natural strategy for slowing conflict and building clarity through authentic communication. Before we dive deep into today's conversation, I just want to let y'all know you're amazing. I think you're really and truly amazing. All right, well, let's get to talking. The role of empathy in conflict resolution. Empathy is often described as understanding someone else's feelings, but in conflict resolution, it plays a far more strategic role. Empathy shifts the emotional intensity of difficult conversations, especially when tensions are high or the topic feels too heavy to touch. Many people avoid empathy because they assume it means agreeing, surrendering, or letting someone, quote unquote, win. Think of it like an internal power struggle. When you practice empathy, you're basically holding space for somebody, or you're being, I would say, if they stub their toe on the edge of their bed, you know how they feel because you've done it before. But for some people who are trying to understand the ideology behind empathy and the emotional connection behind empathy, they feel that it is a sign of weakness or an unnecessary power struggle with somebody that is not as strong as them. Not to say the other person is weak, but it's like we are on a continuous line of being in the middle. There's always somebody better than us. There's always someone worse than us. And then there's somebody where we are better than someone versus we are worse than somebody else. So we are always and forever in that middle range because there's someone before, there's someone after, there's someone who's equal, which is standing on both sides of us. But in this case, when it does come to empathy, a lot of people do see that as a sign of weakness. Like I said, in reality, empathy is a regulation tool, teaching people to remain grounded enough to think clearly instead of reacting based on impulse or instinct. One of the lesser known aspects of empathy is how it affects the brain during conflict. Typically, when someone feels misunderstood, their nervous system becomes more reactive, making them more likely to defend, attack, or shut down. This can happen anywhere, at work, home, or even when taking care of errands. For somebody who works in customer service and financial services and critical collections, yeah. There are plenty of times where I want to draw back my fist and kind of send you back to the good old days. But, Mama Heart can't be doing all that. I got to be peaceful. I got to be peaceful for my peeps. But there are times where I do practice empathy with my customers, with my clients, with anybody. And it gets misunderstood. Some people see it as flirtation. Really, I'm used to people getting angry when I try to empathize with them because they feel I'm belittling them. And that's where I have to pause and I have to talk to them like I gave birth to them. I don't want to do that all the time. Let me be respectful, please. Please. Thank you. However, when a person feels seen, the brain's threat response softens. This doesn't fix the problem, but it creates the conditions where problem solving becomes possible. You see, empathy doesn't end the conflict. It simply opens the door so the conversation can move forward without spiraling out of control. Empathy also changes the direction of conversation. Instead of debating who is right, empathy shifts the focus to what the conflict is actually about. Many arguments are about feeling dismissed, unheard, or overwhelmed. When someone says, I can see why that would bother you, it shows active listening and safety. Just as a brief reflection, I remember having an argument with someone, and I'm just like, hey, I'm not going to scream and yell at you. There is no need for me to scream and yell. I'm going to talk to you like you're a human being. I don't agree with what was done because of A, B, and C. This made me feel some type of way because of what I've noticed the last X amount of days. Could you please tell me what was going on in your mind, or how did you feel during that time, so I can understand your perspective, your narrative, or why you did what you did, so I can also understand who you are now. Many of y'all might be saying, dang, Harry, where can I get some of that tea? Honestly, I don't know. I don't know where you can get some of that tea, because this tea came with practice. This tea came from really and truly slowing down and listening to people, and I have to yank myself out the situation just to reapply myself into the situation again, but with a clearer headspace. I'm not perfect either. I do jump the gun sometimes. I replay the events over and over and over in my head. It lives in my brain and in my heart and my spirit rent free. So best believe it's like an ongoing thing. But one thing I will say, over time I've learned, I'm still going to tell you how I feel, because you can't sit here and correct that. But I'm also going to give you that floor, no matter how long it takes. I'm going to give you that floor so you can tell me what's really going on. I don't know. Maybe you just need a vent. Maybe there is a problem that we need to find a solution to. Maybe this situation, this problem, this disagreement might just have to be one of those I agree to disagree, so we can move forward with ourselves. I don't know. The point of me doing Hari's Helping Hands isn't to fix your problems. I don't know what's going on with you, and I want to know what's going on with you. Tell me, what is going on with you? Which direction do I need to go in to help you out, or to find someone that can help you better? By any chance, is what I'm doing beneficial to you? Is it hurting you? Or do you think you need somebody else that can articulate what I'm teaching you better? Because if so, great. You're giving me something to work with. That's how I empathize with people. I'm not just here trying to fix you. In fact, I'm not here at all trying to fix you. I don't want to fix you. I want to give you the tools, the resources, and the support so you can work on yourself at whatever pace you want to work on. I want you to go at your own pace. I really need for you to take time for you. Because when people feel safe, they find it easier to learn. They find it easier to lean more towards honesty. Being honest makes solutions clearer and easier to digest, even if it is not something one would want to hear or experience. Empathy equals turning point in conversations, not a pacifier to dismiss a developing or an ongoing issue. So take some time, breathe with me. Let's sit in silence if we need to. If you want to sit in some noise, that's fine too. Some people think better when it's crazy hectic. Other people like to think more clearly when it's slow and steady. Whatever works for you, so we can be there together. So we can work with you wherever you are. And if this is the type of work that's out of my hands, give me that room to find somebody who can handle you better. Slowing the conversation just enough to prevent emotional collisions is an often overlooked skill in practicing authentic empathy, also known as empathetic pacing. People tend to rush to defend themselves, which I do it all the time. How I defend myself, I push everybody away. I cut ties with you. Other people, they just walk away and leave everyone in silence. They brace themselves very quickly because they're used to getting their feelings hurt with little to no warning, and it sucks. Like I said, people tend to rush to defend themselves, correct the story, or prove their point. Instead of reacting loudly or shutting down completely, curiosity invites a pause before responding. Empathy encourages clarifying questions and acknowledges emotions before the conversation turns into emotional overload and disconnection. Curiosity turns conflict into information gathering, allowing the other person to express their concerns and vulnerability, making it easier to resolve the issue at hand. So with all that being said, what are you doing for someone else? I know I talk about myself a lot the last several episodes, so now I'm putting this back into your hands. What are you doing when you practice authentic empathy or empathetic pacing? Let me know in the comments. If you're listening to my podcast somewhere else, find me on Substack, drop a comment. Everything is free, everything is open. If you don't feel comfortable dropping a comment, leave me a message. My messages are open. I want to know. I'm curious. How do you practice this? Maybe there's something that I'm missing. Anyway, that's all I have for y'all today. I know it's a little bit short, but thank you so much for being part of Hari's Helping Hands. And just a fun little refresher. I am going to take a little break, but I promise I will be back. And when I come back, I might have fun little add-ons and treats just for you. Oh, and I also want y'all to know before we go, you are loved, you are appreciated, you are adored, and I am so happy that you're here. And I seriously mean it. I love you. You are needed. You are special. You are smart. You are not another statistic. You are someone special. Okay? Now, take it slow or get ready to go on the go. Oh, God. I can't believe I just said go on the go. Oh, my goodness. Look, y'all, I need some sleep. That's what needs to happen. I need some sleep. Anyway, thank y'all so much for being part of Hari's Helping Hands. I'll catch you guys again on February 20th. And yes, the 20th is my last post, but just like every good thing, it does have to come to an end for now so I can breathe, recollect, and try to get some sleep. Because dang, this baby got me messed up over here waking up at 2 o'clock in the morning. 3 o'clock in the morning, baby. I need you to take your happy butt to sleep, because ain't nobody got time to be listening to somebody crying they buns off this early in the morning. And then I got to figure out how to train my baby to adhere to my work schedule. Sweet Jesus, pray for me, y'all. Pray for Mama Hari, please, because Lord have mercy. All right. I'll talk to you guys again very, very soon. Bye.